Hey,
ladies,
hey.
what's going on?
Everything's everything.
Everything it should be everything.
It really is.
It
I've
really
been missing my sisters. Been missing
Hey
you
girl, we
guys.
see you still working
Hey,
though.
long
Peggy
time no
still at
see.
work.
Oh, it has been a couple of weeks, haven't it?
It's been a
It
lot.
seems like a long time.
Missing my sisters. Missing you
Yes,
guys. You just
Yes,
don't even know.
yes.
Loving that
yes, just missing all
hair.
of
Loving
you.
that hair.
Everybody's busy, busy, busy. Yes.
Okay.
Well,
We're
you
live and
look
in
well,
living
my
color.
sister. You look well.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Peg?
You look well, my sister. You look well.
I
You,
thank you for that.
Look, I said Charlene, but
Yeah.
I meant to say Sharon.
I'm Charlene today.
Okay,
Yes, we got
Charlene.
Sharon sitting in for Charlene today.
And
We
my
got Scoop.
Linda.
Hey.
Hey. We are got Sharon and I got scoops and curls today. Scoops
Hey,
and curls.
Uh-huh.
we're sisters. Sister Times
The
Tuesday.
curl girls.
The curl girls. Honey, I promise
All right.
you, but it's all good.
We have it all. That's the beauty of this blackness.
Yes.
All kinds of styles here.
Oh, well, we could do what we want. We could
I love it.
show different
I'm loving
fashion,
it.
look different, style different. This is how we do it. Just to keep things very exciting.
Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Yes, keep it fresh. But anyway, I'm Wyoming.
I'm Peg.
I'm Linda.
And I'm Sharon.
And we are
4SistersLIVE.
Yes, we are. It's been really a trying time, trying days and weeks. No, we have been kind of away, guys, but you know what? We're still here when we could get here, and we got to just keep it moving because things still have to get done in terms of what we have to say. And we know we have a lot to say. A lot is going on. Sharon, a lot is happening in our lives individually and collectively. And
all around us.
All around us. And we're just, really, they say, life be lifing. And we're really just doing what we need to do is just continue to stay alive and survive because things are just changing. I remember, Peggy, when we started this show, we were talking about things that were happening with the life and community and what we were talking about. And literally things are still escalating. I mean, we still, at the time we were talking about it, now we're living it.
Yep.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's been a paradigm shift. Something has definitely changed the atmospheres. And so here we are continuing the conversation. So we tell everybody continue to support 4SistersLIVE because we do have a platform that is right on the precipice of things that's really happening. And we see a lot of people talking podcasts and what's going on and what they're talking about. I've never seen so many people talking.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking.
Everybody's talking.
People are talking.
Yes. Yes.
They are. They really are.
And you're getting different points of view. And so, which is good because it's not one narrative. It's a whole bunch.
Yeah.
It's not narrow at all. It is very wide. And I'm really glad we have so many, because you get to see what's on people's mind,
what they're thinking.
And what they're thinking and the directions that they're going and the directions they're coming from. So we're not in a box anymore.
No, definitely not.
Not in a box.
I mean, when we say everything is of everything, we're talking education, we're talking the religious realm, we're talking the family, we're talking what's happening individually, we're talking marriages, we're talking all of it.
Our children. Oh my goodness.
Our children.
Our babies.
Our children. Erica showed me a video this morning.
Are you on mute, Sharon?
Showed us a video of right over, I think she said it was over by Dunbar. Broad daylight shooting. You can actually, it came on somebody's ring. So you could see them running through the streets with automatic guns and single shooting guns, whatever you call them, running through the street shooting. at each other or
Yeah.
whatever, and a
This,
bullet grazed a small child and it went the one through the window. I mean, what is going on with our children that are, that's in that frame of mind? It's not all of them. It's only a few that's doing this, but
what you may want, no, it's a lot of them. I won't say all, but it's a lot of them.
Okay.
Not all, but a lot.
No, it's definitely not
it's
all.
A lot of our children are going astray. Yeah, but I'm just saying there's a lot of our children are going astray in a big way. And it's sad.
In a big way.
It really is.
It's
and
so
whatever
sad.
they need to do in this community, in this system,
we have to assist them.
Whatever it is, we got to it's in the system because it's not right now working in terms of how these children are receiving what they need. And it's something going on. And I don't know how and when and who will get to tap into what it really is, guys.
Yeah.
We're losing our babies.
We're
losing our babies. Yep. And mothers are crying. Their children are dying.
Yes.
And, it's
and
sad.
If they're not dying, they're injured for life.
Yes.
One is too many.
Yeah.
One is. Sharon, I know
you can't
children as well and experiencing.
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you now.
Okay, great.
Yes,
it is
in and out, but yes.
Don't move.
It's an absolute tragedy. That's what's going on with our youth, and it's time to wake up. It's time for everyone to wake up. See what's happening.
We're glitching out, Sharon. Let me. We're trying to fix that.
That is so true.
I just wanted to are you there?
I'm here.
Peggy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. We're here. You're frozen. A little technical snafu here.
Yeah.
Yep. But as we were saying, our children, they're so, especially the instructors, the teachers, the school workers, every time I've heard how the kids doing in school, they're traumatizing the teachers, they're traumatizing the persons that's in charge of them in whatever way at the schools. It's been so long since I've been a part of that system, but everyone is suffering in different ways. And I'm hearing so many things about the children and what they're saying to the teachers and their attitude and their longitude. So all this is stemming from home. It's starting somewhere at home.
Hey, Linda, a couple of weeks ago, we had the opportunity, Dr. Lloyd Dorsey, Joyce, and myself participated in a career day at the school, Ernest Just Middle School here in Prince George's County. And it was so beautiful to go into the schools to hear the sounds of these young people alive.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
And happy?
Alive.
And they should be happy. They should be.
And they were happy. And the energy and the love that these kids were giving out just made me feel so proud when I walked out of that door.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. I've been hearing just the opposite. And, I know it's better. And so, it's not in every school and it's not in every classroom.
No. And look, we even had the opportunity about a month ago. We were in Baltimore at Dorothy Heights Elementary School. And these kids just made me feel so good when I walked out that door.
Yeah.
These were the babies. These were the young ones.
Yes.
Who have no clue of what is going on in our community.
And they're living
they know.
They're living their life just like we did when we were kids.
They're living it.
Yeah.
But to see the broad perspective of what is happening to our community, they have no clue because they're so happy.
And I'm so happy that they're happy because they need that happiness. Their childhood should not be ruined by madness. It just should, because it affects them for so long. And it's just that PTSD that comes out later on after they've witnessed terrible things.
Yeah.
It's just, we have to pray for our children even more, because it's
What can you
definitely
say?
there. Oh, what's
Continues to be
happening?
there.
We lost our we lost our
Yeah, we lost
sisters.
Sharon and we
Oh
lost.
my! Hey, Sharon is
Okay,
back.
I'm back. I put my headset on. Is that better? Can you hear me better
That's
now?
much better. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's better. Now we
We're
got to get
waiting for
wide.
Y come back.
Wide's coming. It's cloudy. You know, the satellites are experiencing something up in the atmosphere. Just want to let y'all know. That's
You
something's
know what?
going on.
They're trying us, right?
It's a lot going on,
It's a lot going
throughout
on.
the universe. So we need to be aware. We need to open our eyes. This is the time, guys. This is the time. We need to open our eyes and ears. So much is going on.
Open up our hearts.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness.
Okay, why? She's
Where's
coming.
Wawa?
She's coming.
She's coming back on.
Yeah.
Well,
so what's going on?
What's going on?
I guess what's going on in our world, right? That's the next thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right. Sharon, you just came back.
I just got
awesome.
back from the yay.
She just came back with something fabulous on the ocean somewhere.
Yes, indeed.
Where were you, Sharon?
I was in the Dominican Republic.
I'm sick of you.
Santo Domingo, yay! And at a conference, the Own It conference, the Unleashed conference. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Congratulations!
Oh, thank you.
Yes, because
It's too short. Yeah, Florence was
Florence.
there. Yes, and we just had an amazing time. It was too short. Wasn't ready to come back.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my
good.
Back to reality.
I'm so glad you sent some of that. I saw some of the pictures and they were beautiful.
You know that there were so many. I haven't had a chance to post mine because I can't decide what to put because there's so many pictures.
I know when we get it, we're gonna get a floodgate of pictures.
Exactly. So I'm just letting them post for me. I just say, okay, mine is coming too.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so much fun.
Peggy, what's been going on? I know you're busy as ever.
Oh my God, we have been involved just getting ready to gear up for the youth summit and also our youth scholarship expo that's coming up in October. And you know, you have to plan for this. You just can't wait until October to do this.
That's true. It's coming.
So,
Here it comes.
It's coming
so fast.
And also, we have our domestic violence benefit that's coming up in October as well.
Okay.
So October is going to be a busy month for us. But I've been in, like I mentioned earlier, I've been in the classroom in the elementary school in Baltimore and then the middle school here in Prince George's County. And I mean, it just gives you a better perspective of what's going on in the classroom. Again, it's just to hear the sound of these kids' voices and the happiness made me feel so good when I walked out.
That is so good.
So just gearing up for that. Been excited and going after. We're gearing up for the PAL networking conference that's coming up in July. So work. We're making it happen. That's all I can say.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so
hey,
much.
I'm in class. I'm learning all about
I heard
herbs and formulas, and I've been very focused on that. Got to make it through.
Joyce was telling me that y'all in the same class together.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Joyce hooked me up with this class, and this is something I've always wanted to do. So I am very excited about this, and trust me, they got me up early in the morning. You know I'm not on. I got classes at 7 o'clock in the morning. 7 and 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, but it's an international class, so it's all over the world. So so I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So yeah.
It's so nice to hear what all the sisters are doing individually and together. Supporting and connecting and
we're connecting each other.
That's exactly so much to
we
share.
are really connecting each other, just like our slogan, sisters, connecting sisters, you know, helping us to connect. And that's why it's so important for new sisters to come on in, you know, because Sisters 4Sisters Network is a real network, and we do have people from all over the world who know people from all over the world. And we connect and we let each other know what we're doing. And that's how Sharon was able to go all the way to the DR, and I've been to Africa. It's all because of the connections that we've had. And they're right here in this organization.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I'm so proud of it.
In schools and the educational work that we've been doing over the years, and just showcasing the things that we've done. We have playwrights here. We have movie artists. We have,
I'm telling you,
we have movers and shakers. Yeah.
We have a lot of movers and shakers. And not only that, in the political world, we have sisters that are representing each counties in Prince George's County. So there are people in Sisters 4Sisters Network that you need to know. And we want to know you.
You better ask somebody. Yeah.
I know, we want to know you. Yeah. And you get to come on 4SistersLIVE. On top of that, we get to showcase you. So it's a happy time.
A beautiful thing.
Yeah, come and toot your own horn. You got a platform. It's here for you. This is what we're here for. Here. Exactly. And so many sisters have a horn to toot because they really need to be telling their stories.
Sisters are doing it. The
sisters absolutely.
Are doing it. I am so proud of you, all of you.
I am. All the love. There's so much love, and that's what I love about what we have.
Yes,
is that we have a lot of love that we share among each other, and it's just some powerful stuff that is happening.
I haven't looked on Facebook. Our sisters chiming in on us on Facebook. Oh, look! I open up my phone, and who do I see? I see your sister.
Oh, Jeannie.
Is that Jeannie?
Jeannie B.
Jeannie B. Yes, Jeannie, our designer.
That's my sister.
Why's back?
Here's my wife. Why's back?
Yes. Hey, why? Yeah. So yes,
we only miss you for a moment, honey. For a moment.
Oh, okay. I see Gina. I see a picture of Gina's daughter. Bachelor of Health Science at University of North Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's graduating.
Congratulations,
congratulations.
Gina. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome. So yeah, we're online now. Go online, go on Facebook and see what's going on. I'm not a Facebook person, but every now and then I go in.
A lot of information.
Yeah.
Good and not so good, but at least you can filter it.
You got some positive stuff when you're with us.
Absolutely.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Why you back?
Why?
She back.
I'm trying to be back. You know what? I think it's my Wi-Fi here, and it's a problem of connection today. So just know that it's a technical problem, and we're trying to get through it. But I know my sisters are going to carry on. Whatever y'all doing, I know we're talking about several things.
Right.
So y'all carry on. I'll catch up. Go ahead, Peggy.
Okay, right, because I don't see I guess
we checked it out. We
go on with the birthdays and go on with everything. Because I'm checking, you know what? I don't see us on live. I don't see anybody in the chat, the live chat. I don't see that.
No.
Okay.
No.
We have to check that out.
Yeah. I don't see our audience today.
I've seen Marion was on. I also saw Diane Smith.
Okay, you saw. I have a blank screen under us. I don't know what's going on. I do.
Our brother. We have a brother, especially Robert. Robert is joining us.
Hey, Robert. Hey. Oh, yes, our very own Robert.
Yes.
Hey, Robert. Thanks for watching. welcome, and welcome.
We also have Renee. Thank you, brother. Renee, for joining us. Thank you.
Is that Dr. Renee?
No. Withers. Renee Withers.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you, Marion. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
This is truly, you can tell we live today.
Yeah. The universe is live today. We can't even get things connected. What's up?
Yeah.
That's okay. We're going to move right along.
Not going to stop.
But Yeah, let's move
Peggy,
right
what you
along. Have we
got?
done birthday? Have we
Oh
done
yeah, I got a
birthday?
few birthday shout outs, guys.
Yes, May.
Okay.
It's May, y'all.
And
It
May
is here.
babies.
Mental Awareness Month. Mental Health. I can't get my mouth together. Mental Health Awareness Month. Yes.
Yeah, well, let me do one thing. I like to do our birthday shout outs because I
Yes.
love
Oh, yeah.
birthdays, right?
Gotta do the
And
Right.
we
birthdays.
try to make sure that we do something special for our sisters. So
I have my horn.
you got the horn, Linda? All right.
I'm ready. I'm ready for you.
We got Linda Lloyd celebrating on the 6th.
All right.
Sylvia
Okay.
Garrett on the 12th.
Okay.
My doll baby. I call her my doll baby. Gina Duncan on the 17th.
Okay.
And
Right. Yeah,
Lynette
Gina.
Crosby is celebrating her birthday on the 29th. So happy birthday, my sisters.
Happy
Birthday
birthday,
to
my
everybody.
Yes,
sisters.
yes, yes,
Happy
Yay.
birthday.
Love it.
That's one. All right.
yes.
So we're going to
Indeed.
move right along after the birthdays.
Happy,
Happy birthday, everyone. Live long, live
Yes.
Yeah,
happy
strong, and
birthday.
indeed.
enjoy
I mean,
your
on this
birthday.
beautiful cloudy day that I'm sure you just want to rest in. That's a good thing. Just
I see a
rest in.
Pika sun out my window right now.
Oh, good. I hope it comes here. You got any hot picks, Peggy? Anything we need to know?
Well, we just got one big hot pick. I consider it mine, but also I know Y has one.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we will be having I would say just a little celebration because we have to continue to toot our horns no matter where we are. And we're going to have a fashion show fundraiser tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Terry's fashion show.
Yes.
Yay.
I don't know if we have the flyer up,
I hope so.
Dante,
Yeah.
but
She
if
does
we
some
have it,
beautiful original designs with her painting, her scarves. They're absolutely gorgeous.
yes,
You don't
yes,
want to
yes.
miss this. This is a one-of-a-kind fashion show that you're not going to see on other runways. So you
no,
really need to
Yeah.
be there because her fashion is original, and I just love it. It's so soft and flowy, and then her whole thing about trees, and I'm a tree person, so I definitely
Yeah.
Terry. I should have worn one of Terry's scarves today. I didn't think about that.
yeah,
Yes.
Same here. I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah, we
right.
should
And
do it.
of course, we cannot forget Jeannie, Jeannie B, designs by
Jeannie
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 B.
B designs,
Yes,
right?
yes. So we're gonna have really a nice array of fashions. It's going to be phenomenal. So you got to be in the house. There is limited seating, and as a matter of fact, I think we only have about 5 seats left. So get your tickets
Better hurry up and
now.
slide under
And
that
we have a
door.
little surprise for you at the end. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Are you one of the models, Sharon?
I'm actually commentating the show. So we are.
Okay.
We
All
have
right.
the
So very
yeah,
own
the
Sharon
designers
will
have 3
be there to
designers.
commentate.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun day. So please come out. Don't let the weather stop you. Still, they're calling for
Right.
rain, but I
Hey,
already
if you can
ordered
work in
sunshine.
it, you
I
can
ordered
play in it.
sunshine for you. So just come on out. Come on out regardless. It's gonna be sunshine
Come
in
on
the
out and
house.
play in the rain. Just come on out and play.
Yes,
Come on out.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
yeah.
Cool beans. Well, that sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good. And I'm going to
Why? I
plug
think you
in
have
what
one, right? This one here,
Yes.
City Records coming up Mother's Day weekend. And Sunday has not been it's not going to be happening on Sunday, but we're going to have it Friday, Saturday. So
Okay.
everyone just come on out, enjoy a good show, and be able
Gorgeous.
to celebrate Mother's Day weekend. Okay,
Yes.
so go to thelincolndc.com, thelincolndc.com, and tell
Okay.
everybody to go on and purchase the tickets. So in the meantime, thank you, Dante. What we
Let
have
me
now?
let me
Oh,
show
Peggy,
let
you
me
want to
show
talk
this
about
one
this?
here. This is our baby right here, the PAL Networking Conference, and this is actually the 23rd, and we have been to every last one of them. We have represented every year, and I'm just so proud of what is about to happen. The conference was previously in Houston, Texas, but beginning July 10th through the 13th, it will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. So now we really do not have any excuse to get there, right?
Closer than
ever. Yes,
closer to home.
the better.
Yeah.
I just want to take a moment to shout out about that.
Yes, and that's so important for folks who, if you have a business or don't have a business, or you want to educate yourself on what's happening in the business world, the Power Networking Conference is the conference you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss people who look just like you, who are in all types of business, the bankers, the real estate people, the oh my gosh, professors, the instructors, they're all over. They're everything. The medical field is covered. All fields are covered at the Power Networking Conference.
And you know, the beautiful thing about it is they have the young people there.
And the young people are there. Bring your young people.
To sponsor a student, you can bring a student. That's what's really so uplifting about it. And that is where we got our start, Peggy. That's where we started. This is where all this is coming from. Conference. Yes, that's how we got together. That's how we became Sisters 4Sisters Network. It is it was our beginning. And look at it now. It's like how many now? 20 going into 23 years for us now.
Just like
and the Power Networking Conference was where it all began.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're excited.
Amazing.
Before you know it, July will be here, and July will have left with memories.
Time is going so fast. So fast. Yeah.
All right, well, we can pass it back to you.
So what we're going to do, we're going to switch gears here. Still feeling like I'm just still disconnected a little bit, but we're going to keep it moving. But we know today, the first of every month, we talk about domestic violence, guys. And this is a subject that we have been speaking on, Peggy, Sharon, and Linda, for some time now on this platform. And I believe that we are making an impact by what we say and how we are doing this as it relates to our show. Mm-hmm. We really are. And I'm thankful because the more I'm watching what's happening around us, domestic violence is everywhere.
Everywhere.
It is so prevalent now. It
so
is
unfortunately,
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's so unfortunately.
It is.
And people are witnessing even in their homes, in schools, again, in churches. It doesn't discriminate. The domestic violence just doesn't discriminate. What color doesn't matter, your race, your creed, your religion, it just does not discriminate. So we have someone here today that's so near and dear to us, our sister, our friend, someone who we love. She loves us. She reached out and she's on the front line all the time. And I applaud this lady because she has a faith that I've never seen anyone has the type of faith that she has. She's come through so much and she has a story to tell. And we're going to have her to come on today and just share how she wants to share. Tell us what she wants us to know. And we're just going to have the conversation. We're going to dialogue and we're going to engage and just speak on this matter because sometimes we don't know. It's just no cookie cutting kind of way all the time. No. We just have to talk about it and get it out. Speak on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're going to invite our sister, Reverend Dr. Unia Pettis, in now and introduce her to all of those who may not know of her, but they definitely should know about her because she's in the community and she has been doing so many things. Dr. Unia, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello to all my sisters. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Absolutely.
Dr. Unia, I'm going to have Peggy. Peggy, are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I would like for you to conduct this with her because if I'm glitching out, I don't want to miss it. So can you please kind of move forward?
With the conversation? Can you hear me with the conversation?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Why not let's take a moment and let our sister introduce herself because I think that's the grand opening. I think people need to know who she is.
Yes.
Well, thank you again for the invitation. I love you, sisters. I miss you, Dr. Charlene, but hello to Dr. Sharon, my soror, Dr. Linda, another soror, Dr. Y, And Sister Peggy, I call you the GOAT of sister connections. You're the greatest of all times in connection.
Yes.
I love that.
So you're the GOAT. So I thank you for always being there and for reaching out and for allowing us to reach in and to share. My name is Reverend Dr. Unia Pettis. I'm based in Washington, D.C. For those of you who are watching, I have been through a couple of things. Some say I've been through a lot, but God allows us to get through with victory. And so today is Domestic Violence Awareness topic for the show, but it's also May, which is mental health awareness. And it's a perfect combination for my story because I actually tried to commit suicide to get out of my abusive marriage. And if you're shocked, clutch your pearls. Yes, I did. So let me just update you on what happened. I believe in being candid and real because when people are transparent, then lives can be changed. If you have any questions or you want to ask something, please put it in the chat on Facebook. Let us know that you're there and let us know where you're watching from. I was engaged. I dated and was engaged to a local pastor, and it was a phenomenal relationship. We were together for 2 years before he asked me to marry him. It was the best relationship I'd ever been in my life. We were so supportive of each other. We had worked for the mayor at that time. I was her spokeswoman. That's former Mayor Sharon Pratt now. And he was a policy person, and we just were able to connect. So God allowed us to connect, and I just fell in love like never before. And he asked me to marry him. And of course, I said yes. We went through a year of premarital counseling because everyone was preparing me to be this big first lady. So we did that. And then we got married. And immediately on the day of getting married, when we came back to the hotel, he locked me out of my suite. And he was cursing at me. So I'm in my gown and going, like, knocking on the door. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he was like, did you wear that outfit for everybody else or did you wear it for me? And he was talking about my dress. He said I looked too good in it. And he didn't want me to show any skin. I was showing a part of my arm. So imagine I'm in my wedding dress, gloves up to the upper part of my arm, and everything is wonderful. And I feel good about myself. He had never said anything negative to me ever in life. And he locked me out the suite. So I went downstairs because there were other guests there. I didn't want anybody to know we were fighting. And I asked the young lady at the concierge desk, I said, can you please give me a room? My husband of 3 hours just locked me out our suite. And so I want everybody to hear that and say, God, Unia, why did you stay married to that person? Because that was a huge red flag, right? But it was the only red flag that I had experienced. And I want you to understand when you're dating someone, you really don't really know the person until you marry them, because I don't really think you should live with somebody first. But once you're married, you're going to see the unfiltered person. So the person I was engaged to, the person who I dated, he wasn't the person I married. He changed. And what he told me was Ephesians 5:22 and 23. And I'm going to read it for you verbatim. Wives, obey your husbands as to obey the Lord. The husband is the head of the wife, just as Christ is the head of the church. He said, now that I'm your head, I'm going to control you. And he punished me by allowing me to stay in another room crying on the floor in my wedding dress. Then he called the room because I kept calling him. He wouldn't pick up. At 4 o'clock in the morning, he picked up. He was like, yes, Unia. And I was like, baby, we're going to church in the morning. Are you going to let me in? He said, yeah, come back at 6. I knocked on the door at 6, got dressed, and I went to church, and we were in the front row. I'd had a huge wedding. It was a Jet magazine and everything. So the pastor had to stand up and talked about how beautiful the wedding was. We had several celebrities in the wedding. And I sat by who I thought was going to be the best person I'd ever be with in life, my best friend. And I looked at him and realized that he had now become my enemy. And I did not know what to do. And so the emotional and verbal abuse started the day we got married. And the physical abuse started about 6 months into the marriage. He would just beat me down. I was working on my doctoral degree full time. and I was a full-time publicist. So I'm newly married, trying to do everything right. He keeps telling me about this scripture, I'm your head. What I tell you to do, you do. I didn't tell my mother or anybody what was going on. He wouldn't even allow me to call my mother without him being on the other line. He wouldn't allow me to talk to any men unless he was on the phone. And I had I had male colleagues in my class. I couldn't do homework or study sessions with them. He was extremely controlling. And he kept telling me that he had to make me to be the wife that he wanted as a first lady. And pretty much he wanted me to be pretty and shut up. The one thing that he started beating me for in the 6 months was he told me, Unia, I don't want you to get your doctorate because I only have my master's and you're going to have a degree higher than me. That doesn't look good. And I'm like, babe, I got a scholarship. You knew about this beforehand. He said, drop out. I refused to drop out. For that 6 years, he kept beating. He had affairs on me. Everything he did, I kept staying in school because there was something on the inside that said, Unia, if you get this degree and you show him you're not going to back down, God is going to open up some doors. What I needed to realize that God had already opened the door of common sense. And I should have realized, yeah, he repeats the scripture, but God says you're the head of the wife, but you're the head of the wife to be a good husband, not to be an abuser. You're the head and submitted unto Christ. You know, people leave off parts of scriptures, right? So yes, you're the head, but you're all supposed to be under Christ. And God would not want anyone to be your husband who's abusing you verbally, emotionally, psychologically, in any way. So don't allow people to brainwash you with scripture, and don't allow him to tell you, oh, baby, I love you so much. That's why I'm so controlling. Baby, you're so fine. That's why I'm jealous. And I want you all to myself. I thought those were all complimentary things at first. But him taping the conversations, me having to have a diary of who I engaged with on the way to school, it was just purely insane. The second year, I became licensed into the ministry. I was the first woman licensed at this church. And now I'm sitting next to the pastor in the pulpit. Some mornings on the way to church, he beat me so bad, I had to learn how to do like costume makeup because I was just black and blue in my face. And I didn't want the parishioners to know. So I would be beaten on the way to church. Sometimes he beat me in the pastor's study. A lot of times he cursed me out, called me everything but a child of God. When I had to minister to kind of get me off my groove in the Lord, he just did everything he could to make my life a living hell. Now, one thing I didn't tell you is when we were dating, after the second date, he had kidney failure and he was only 29. I'm 27. And so he was at Howard Hospital. He passed out in the pulpit at a church called Shiloh. And so I met him at the intensive care and I went in and they were like, you can't see him. We're waiting for his family to come in from out of town. I'm like, well, we're dating. And so I said, let me just go see him. And I went in, he had all these tubes and they didn't think he was going to make it through the night. And I whispered in his ear, I said, wow, you're doing a whole lot to get my attention. If you want a second date, you just had to ask for it. And a tear came down his face. And I literally stayed there by his side for the next 10 days. And I met his parents because they came down and they're like, who's this girl? I was just determined not to leave his side because I really thought he was going to die. And that made me really connected to him. And he used that. And he kept saying, remember when you ministered to me when I was about to die in the ICU? You're supposed to be with me. So I felt like God gave me that to give him his life. Then now I have to be obedient to him because God wouldn't do that if it was someone not good for me. And so it's just really sad that I didn't have enough self-esteem. I'm an only child and he made me feel horrible. He made me feel ugly. He made me feel unheard, unseen, unvalidated. And it was just a disaster. But I thank God that I was able to get out. But unfortunately, I did it the wrong way. And so May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I tried to commit suicide. What happened is this is the third person he had an affair with, an open affair. And they had called me and they pretty much, just told me that they were going to take my man And why don't I divorce him? Why don't I leave him? They're in love. And I called him at the job, which I'd never done before. I never disturbed him at the church. And he said, Unia, when I get home, I'm going to get you. And this was a tone that was different than the other tones he had given me. This one was like, I'm going to beat you so bad, your mother won't recognize you. And I got scared. And so I immediately went to my refrigerator. Don't know why. And I was like, okay, I got to eat something. I got to drink. I got to be ready because he's going to beat me. I never fought back, but I'm like, oh my God, he's going to come to kill me. So instead of him killing me, I was so afraid of him doing that. I was like, okay, let me do something to stop all this pain. I was in a complete darkness. Yes, I was in ministry. Yes, I was in full-time school for my doctorate, and I was in divinity school. But the darkness was so deep. Why? And Sharon and Linda and Sister Peg, when I tell you the devil is real, it was like I was sitting in darkness in that room. And the devil was like, go get you some sleeping pills. I went to, back then it wasn't CVS. Remember when it was called People's Drugs? Okay. So it was People's Drug Store. So I went there, got a couple bottles of sleeping pills. I went back home. He had recently had surgery. He had some Percocet. And so I crushed them up with applesauce and I took them. And I literally passed out. My mother came to me in the middle of me passing out. And she said to me, baby, he's not worth it. Now, mind you, my mother knows nothing about what's going on, but God allowed her to come to me in the form of an angel. And I knew it was her. And so I'm there and I'm passed out and he gets me to the emergency room. I don't know my name. The doctors were like, oh, they're telling me you're married. And what's your husband's name? I couldn't tell him his name. I couldn't tell them my name. They asked me who was the president. It was Bill Clinton. I couldn't remember Bill Clinton's name. They said, we're going to have to admit you under a psychiatric admission against my will. But they did because I totally lost it. And right before they admitted me, there was an angel in the form of a nurse. She said that every time he said, what's going on with her? Are you guys going to save her? My vitals kept changing. And so she said, sir, can you walk out the room? And he did. And my husband doesn't obey anybody. So that was a big deal. She whispered in my ear, what's going on with you? And I said, ma'am, he's been beating me and he's going to kill me. And she said, do you have somebody to call? Now, mind you, I couldn't remember anything, but God allowed me to remember my mother's number. And I called my mother and I said, Mom, I'm in the hospital. She said, what for, baby? I said, I haven't told you, but for the last 6 years, he's been beating me and stomping me and breaking my ribs. And every time you're thinking I'm clumsy, he's breaking toes. He's destroying the computer, telling me I can't go to school. I said, I tried to kill myself because he told me that he was really going to get me this time. And I knew I was going to be so bad that I'd have to have a closed casket. And I didn't want to do that to you. And she ran to the emergency room. She called my father, my uncles, because of course they wanted to fight. And I told them the truth, what had been happening. And they were like, why didn't you tell me? And I said, I didn't want anybody to know I was a failure. I didn't want anybody to know I was stupid enough to stay. I didn't want anybody to know that what they considered this beautiful couple wasn't real. And my pride, pride comes before the fall. I had so much pride because of who he was and what I was doing. And none of that mattered because if he had not taken me to the emergency room, I would have been 6 feet under. I know they said that I had been out for at least 4 hours. They pumped my stomach, gave me the charcoal and all that. I know the only reason why he took me is because he thought I wasn't going to make it. And they said if he had waited a few minutes more, I would not have. So God allowed me to go through that and to come out of it. I filed for divorce immediately. People at the church talked about me like a dog. I helped him get another church because he told me if I mess up his career, he still would kill me. It took a year of separation before I could get the divorce. So during that year, I know this sounds stupid, ladies, I was still going to church with him, Bible study. Sunday. I didn't want anybody to know, right? So I'm still thinking he's going to change. Sometimes a man doesn't change, girl, you got to change. And that's what I didn't realize. I kept praying and anointing him with his clothes and all this, and reading all these scriptures and manifesting, saying, God, show me what to do, when God gives us common sense. And the God who saved me is the God who loved me and created me. And he didn't want me to go through any of that. And so I left him, got divorced, and everybody that was connected to us really tried to sabotage me and my career. He told everybody I went crazy, which I did. But nobody wants to be, know their private stuff. I was in the psych ward for a very long time, and I did have to regain my mental capacity. And so I did go crazy, but there was a reason. I was mentally beaten down. I was emotionally beaten down. You know, where you're growing up and they say sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's not true.
Yes.
Those
it is not true. That's so true.
Emotions that beat me just as much as him breaking my ribs. That beat me like him kicking me down with Timberland boots. That was his favorite way to do his kicking of me. He would kick me with toe Timberlands. My ribs were broken so many times I couldn't even wear a bra for a while. And every time I would go to the ER, we had to keep going to different ERs because I was becoming a regular, right? And he would always be right beside me. Now it's different, but back then they didn't ask you, have you been hurt? Are you are you depressed? Do you think of harming yourself? He was right there standing as the pastor, and he's like, she's so clumsy, doc. She broke her foot again. She did this. And he would just keep taking me to different emergency rooms, and they never questioned anything because he was standing right beside me. I couldn't tell him he was the abuser. And yeah, that was the beginning of what I thought was going to be the worst phase of my life. And it was in many ways, but like a phoenix, God took me through it so I could rise up to help some other sisters. And so I thank God for that. He told me 3 years after the divorce, he said, Uni, I want you to write a book and start a ministry. I was like, Jesus, I love you, but I'm not telling nobody what I went through. Oh my God, he'll kill me. He'll come back for me, his family. He said, you don't have to bring him down to lift me up. You tell your story. And so I started Nobody But God Ministries, and he told me to go into the prisons, go to the classrooms, go into the churches, go to the sororities. I'm a Delta Sigma Theta member and Gamma Phi Delta member. He told me, go everywhere you have connections and you tell your story. And so I wrote my book. It became a bestseller. It's right here, Nobody But God, A Journey of Faith from Tears to Triumph. And it was an Amazon bestseller. And it was just really a blessing that God freed me and let me know, turn your pain into purpose. And that's what I did.
Wow.
Dr. I wanted to, and I hope I'll stay on long enough and I won't glitch out, but your story is amazing.
It's amazing.
You said so much, and you haven't even to a lot of it.
Yeah.
You're just giving us a bit, and for this time we have, you won't be able to tell it all.
Right.
Because you have a very compelling story to tell. Your story is a movie.
It is a movie. That's what I was thinking. I was just looking at Dateline last night, and those are the kind of stories you hear.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And Fatal Attraction and all of that.
Yes.
People tell me, they're like, you should have a whole film, an episode. And so I'm glad for these platforms because we don't know who's watching today and what God has in store. And so one thing I want to say about the suicide, I want to make sure I give a number because I don't want anyone who might be in a dark place like I was to think that there's no help and no hope. So I want to give a number for domestic violence, and I want to give you one if you're depressed and thinking about harming yourself. National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-SAFE. And that's 1-800-799-SAFE. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-TALK, TALK. Do not hear my story and feel that there's no hope for you. I want it to be the opposite. I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that friends love you and we need you. Your children need you. If you're in a domestic abuse relationship, get help, sis. Get out. It only gets worse. If you're suicidal, get help. It only gets worse. There's so many therapists. There's so many things that can help you walk through this. You are not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Men are not the that are abusing women. There are women abusing men as well. But this thing is definitely ways. Women abusing women, men abusing men. These things that we're living now, sexual on top of sexual, same sex and all that, it's happening. It's real. And really something to talk about, Dr. Union and ladies, because people are just hurting, but they don't know how to deal with it because they think someone loves them.
Right.
And I know teenagers out here thinking that they could do whatever they want to do because they want to live this life that they feel someone of these guys love them and they don't.
Right. And with the LGBTQIA community, especially, there's a lot of violence, especially for transgender victims. It's a lot of violence. Also with teens dating. I want these parents to pay attention. You know, I think it's great to be a friend of your child, but my mama was my mama. She wasn't my friend. Right. And you need to know who they're texting with, sexting with, all that stuff. Go through their phones. These young people are so smart. It'll say camera and behind it will be, you know, it could be pornography videos or them sending a sexual picture of themselves to someone they think is their age. And then they go meet that person and he's a man who takes them into human trafficking. You know, they go meet the person at Starbucks and they say, oh, babe, you look good. What's your number? Give them the number. They don't have a clue because they don't understand the demons in this world. And then they connect with him. Don't tell mom and dad they skip in class. And then you never see or hear from her again.
That's true.
This is a whole nother thing. Black girls missing, we don't hear about it. We hear about Gabby Petito and we hear about all that kind of stuff, but we don't hear about the Shaniquas, the Latifahs, the Unia.
We don't hear about when they're missing, when they're found.
And a lot of people become human trafficking victims because they literally met someone online and met somewhere that they thought was safe. And, you know, they got taken or raped or killed.
Yes, I just want to ask a question, Dr. Soror. What did you do in terms of letting others know once you got the courage to leave and once you got the help you needed? When did you report any of this to the congregation, or just how did you get your story out to let people know what had happened to you when you got the courage to do so?
Right. It took me about 2 or 3 years of therapy to get the courage and God to tell me this was what I had to do. And I knew because he lives in the area and everybody's here that I was going to be a target. And so God just gave me courage. I don't know where it came from except God. That's all I can say. I started with one speaking engagement at a time. So my sorors booked me at like some type of dating workshop or something. And so I started just speaking at workshops and seminars and just sharing my story and letting them know I never call the cops. And people were like, is he still pastoring? I helped him get the second church. Because the thing he kept telling me was he was going to kill me. And so he still kept harassing me and sending me things, and people kept targeting me. There were places I couldn't go by myself because I felt unsafe. I felt I was being watched and followed. And to this day, there are people who bully me. There are ministers and pastors and bishops and apostles and family and friends who think I'm lying. And even though domestic violence has come a lot in the forefront, there's still people who don't believe in it. There's still people who think it's your fault. And so I am still doing this because there's someone out there still thinking it's their fault and they shouldn't tell. And I don't want them to be me because I almost died. I want them to be stronger than me. And I'm here so they can be stronger than me.
What are the signs that you can share with the audience especially mothers and fathers, as they watch their daughters, and also the young ladies and the young men who are, what can you say to them?
Right.
What do they watch for?
Right. I will say, as Dr. Y said, there's some women beating men too. I don't approve any type of violence. Let's be clear. There should be no type of intimate partner violence. But with the young people, what you surprisingly would be surprised about is women, the girls, are more aggressive now than the guys.
Yes.
So there are sons. So your son might have a bruise, or your son might be getting, she's calling and calling, like she's calling on the phone. She calls on the house phone. She calls the mama cell. She's like, where is he? That's a sign that that's a girl that your son doesn't need to be dating or looking to date. If you're a father or a mother and your daughter starts withdrawing, she stops coming out to eat dinner, or she doesn't want to hang with her friends anymore. She used to hang out with the girlfriends. Now she just wants to stay home. Why? Because she wants to get his every call, and he's controlling her. A lot of times it starts in the school system. And now students have more rights than parents do. And I'm an educator. I teach.
Right.
Students, they can be whatever they want behind closed doors at school. And the principals, the educators, we can't tell you. So you have to go through the book bag. Like, again, be nosy. When they sleep, go in the room, go quiet, look in the book bag, look up apps. If you don't know what to look for, take a class. It's free. Google how to look at social media on my daughter's phone. There are apps out here. There are classes out here. You have to be smarter than the enemy. They're not going to have your child. You be determined. They're not going to take your son. You be determined. The violence out here in these streets where 12-year-olds are killing 64-year-old men, these young people are at a different level of stress and isolation than we could have ever imagined. And COVID made it worse. Because of the isolation. So what I would say is there are two things, Sora Linda, that they should look out for is power and control, because that's all abuse is, power and control. So again, if everything is happening a little different, they're dressing differently, they're acting withdrawn, you're seeing a bruise, they're losing too much weight, that's a sign that something's going on. Go to the school, talk to the counselor, take them to church, do whatever you got to do. Have another family member ask them. Maybe they won't tell mom or dad, but they'll tell auntie, or they'll tell grandma, because grandma knows how to position it differently. You understand? So you don't be so arrogant to say you don't want to share. No, you might be losing your child. I'd rather you be nosy and your child be upset with you for a day than they had their life change for a lifetime.
And they will thank you.
Oh,
they will thank you when they finally realize it. If it's not too late.
I mean, to this day, my mother, she's 76, and everybody knows how much I love my mom. Till this day, I can't talk about this with my mom because she is like, baby, I can't believe you went through that. And I was up the street, you know? And I was like, Mama, it was something that I went through, and I don't even understood why I did it, even after therapy. But it came to me later when I was talking to her. I said, Ma, I never saw what a man was supposed to do with a woman. My mother was never married to my father. I was raised by a single parent. So if you're not seeing love in the right way, you don't know it. And so she doesn't like that conversation because she's thinking, well, I'm blaming her. No, we have to be real. If your child doesn't have a father in their life, go get you one of those men from the boys clubs or somebody on your job that's a coworker. Have someone that's a male that's able to talk to your child about, you know, what's good, what's bad, what's not right. Because if you don't hear it from someone, you don't know, and you learn the wrong way.
That's true.
I thought his excuse was his love for me, because he kept telling me how much he loved me. I got roses after him. He would take me to a restaurant once I healed up. He always bought me shoes and clothes. So every time he beat me, I still got stuff afterwards. And he would always say, baby, I'm not going to do it again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And even after he got his kidney, which was in the 3rd year of marriage, he still kept beating me. Because I'm like, Lord, you're going to give him his kidney. He's going to change. No, it got worse. It got worse. And the reason why it got worse is because he was stronger.
Right.
And he had more energy. And he felt entitled. Again, the Ephesians 5 says the man, the husband, is the head of the wife. And He wanted to be my head.
Wow.
In the worst way.
In the worst
way. In the worst. And there are people watching right now. It might be your granddaughter. Oh, I'm sorry. We're out.
We're going to bring back part 2.
Yeah.
Hear me?
We have to. Oh my God.
Yes.
I got one question.
Yes.
Is that monster still alive?
He died in 2017.
Good.
And he's not a monster. He's not a monster. He was a person who was dealing with a lot of things. He didn't get married again. And I just know that God is a forgiver. And yeah, he left this earth, but his people are still on me. And it's still rough.
Wow. That's a monster.
But Doctor, I'm going to have to bring you back for part 2.
Part 2.
I would be grateful for that.
This is a story that would need to be told so that you can continue to save other people, to heal people, definitely, and to have other people realize that they're not alone. Absolutely. And their stories, did someone think their story is worse than somebody? Your story,
right?
It
goes on and on, and we're praying, still praying for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
I love you all.
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I want to definitely bring you back for Dr. Here, because what you have gone through, the years, the marriage, the domestic violence, and you've been in the hospital and taking pills, I believe now has where you are physically has affected you.
It totally manifested. One thing, you're right. Literally, the year after divorce came colon cancer. And when the gastroenterologist, everything's internal. But there's a book that's called The Body Keeps Score. I didn't know that. Everything that I internalized and kept as a secret, my intestines were just turned. And they said that it was colon cancer stage 4. And I know spiritually, because I kept holding on to everything and didn't let it go, your body does tell you. It will tell you. It does internalize.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, I have a family history of cancer, but I honestly believe, Dr. Y, I don't think I would have had to have all these different 4 cancers if I had just allowed myself to be free from who I am and to let go.
Yes.
Well, we're going to bring you back because there is so much more to tell. You have a part 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes, and we need so many of our audience need to hear it, and they need to tell their friends. And I encourage everyone that's listening to this, share this video, share it, especially if you know someone who's you think is in trouble. Share it to just because they may have friends that's in trouble and they don't know it. So yes,
love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you, my sister.
Thank you so much.
Have you
love
back.
You guys. Thank
God
you.
bless.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, what's that going on? Ladies, next week is health, and I know that's a lot, right? That's a
lot of health. Yes,
that's a lot about and to absorb and to think about and to really hear about. But anyway, we have our health and wellness next week. I don't know who we have, Linda. If you have
we have Mr. Johnny Steele, who's coming back to do a second part to his talking about aging gracefully, aging and how to, and talking about your colon, just like our sister talked about. So yes, we have Mr. Johnny Steele will be with us next Saturday. Beautiful. And also featuring his book.
Cool. Thank you, Sharon. As always, we love you for sitting in.
Yes, sorry for all the technical difficulties.
It's okay.
Technical difficulties.
Hey, that's a technical world we live in.
We just the devil is a lie because he don't want the story to get out.
Oh,
he don't
I didn't
want
get
us
it.
to talk about this.
I forgot to give away the tickets.
Anyway,
oh Lord.
Okay.
Anyway, are you guys available? Are you coming tomorrow? We're not on the air, are we?
Yes, we are.
Oh my God. we have 2 tickets to give away to the fashion show. Whoever wants to attend, please write your name in chat. The first 2 names we get, you get 2 free tickets to the fashion show tomorrow.
Okay.
We were off the air. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness.
Somebody's looking for him.
Dante, you can put up the
ladies,
flyer now. Did you
what
find the
time it
flyer, Dante? The fashion show flyer?
Somebody want to get
the tickets.
So we're going to say what time it is.
You put my number 202-246-6088, 202-246-6088, or you can just show up and say Sharon sent you.
Okay.
Okay.
If you can put the flyer up so they have the
it's been a
information
great
of where
day.
it's going to be.
They'll
Gotcha.
contact you,
So
Sharon, to get
anyway,
the information.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, ladies, we're going to go out now. What time is it?
Hey, it's time for you to walk
in your purpose,
purpose
and
prosperity.
We'll see you next Saturday. Tell your
Love
friends.
you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.